I am happy to report that we are back. Things on my end were a little dicey for a few weeks, so I had to take a little bit of a break. My thanks to Ryan and Glenn, obviously, for being so patient and bearing with me while I tended to a personal matter. But we're back. We're ready to talk some Arsenal. We have 9 cup finals left before we can hoist a trophy. Let's talk about it. We are back, baby. Ha ha. How's it? Welcome into the latest edition of the Loose Cannons. I'm the Bearded Gooner. That's Glenn. And it looks beautiful where Glenn is.
It's too effing hot.
Yeah.
We were bombarded with cold weather. Now today it's 72, and you know how that feels after cold weather.
Yeah, it sucks. I hate the hot weather. And down below is Ryan. How's the weather out where you are?
Down below. Yeah, overcast.
Well, it's where I like you best, honey.
Yeah, I know. It's about to be 75. It's supposed to be 75 at 4 o'clock, so we'll see. I'm going to step outside. Maybe I'll play some football on my own soon. Who knows?
Nice. Yeah, we had your weather out here in Pittsburgh yesterday, and it was miserable. It was like in the mid 80s and humid as you know what, and it sucked. I hate this weather. So, but now it's back down to like 60 and cloudy and windy, and it feels glorious. So, give me snow and 20 degrees any day. Oh, I hate hot weather, man. Listen, I
don't like hot weather either, but
I can always put more clothes on if I'm cold. I can only get so naked, right? And let's face it, nobody wants to see that. I mean, Ryan, you're probably going to see it eventually. I figure the more.
All right, let's not fuck with the listeners. I already have. Philly was crazy. I don't know if you remember.
That's true. Yeah, I don't remember because I was
true.
passed out. I can't believe she let you come into my hotel room though and see me like that. But whatever. I rolled over and it was just like, someday all of this will be yours.
What?
Anyway,
were you guys like trains? Planes, and automobiles, where you shared a bed, and then those aren't pillows. Oh, you had to see them. Steve Martin, John Kennedy.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't know if Brian's ever seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Long time ago.
By the way, tremendous movie. If you've never seen it, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. David Dundas joining us from New Zealand. David, what time is it in New Zealand? And I believe it's Friday for you, is it not? But anyway, so Glenn, I'll start with you. I guess let's do a little bit of a catch up here. How you been?
I've been good. That Leeds game feels like it was forever ago. I'm dying for the next game. I must take issue with you though. I don't like the analogy of cup finals because we can lose. You can't lose in a cup final. It's gonna feel like cup finals, but I don't like.
Glenn, that's what he meant.
Shut the fuck up.
I was just gonna say right out of the bat, and Glenn's already criticizing my vernacular.
Sorry.
7:40 a.m. on Friday. Well, happy Friday, David. Thanks for being in here all the way in New Zealand. It's the wonders of the interweb, being able to bring Arsenal fans together halfway around the world. So we appreciate you being here, Ryan. What's new on your end? Anything?
So it's funny. So I don't like the hot weather, but in the same respect, I play football year round. So when it gets nice and hot out, I love fucking playing in the heat. I love getting my sweat on. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to play outdoors because I've been playing indoors. Yeah, I'm on a co-ed team. We're starting. It's funny enough. We're starting our indoor league in a couple of weeks, but I'm excited to play outdoors. So yeah, it's gonna be
really an indoor league in the spring, huh? Interesting.
Yeah.
That's your takeaway. My first thing was co-ed league. Okay, no, go ahead.
Yeah,
So-
dude, Glenn, I got some girls that'll kick your ass.
Oh,
You gotta watch
I'm
them
sure
now.
every single
Better
one
than
of them
me.
can kick my ass. Okay,
That's why I didn't go there, Glenn. That's why I didn't go there. So they'd stick me in net and I'd still get abused.
We actually had a few girls that played on our men's team, and we were just like, we might as well just go co-ed. Like, it doesn't make sense for the girls to play in an all men's league. So that's how,
Nice, good shit. Yeah. So Leeds last weekend. I guess. How long has it been since we've done this? I mean, I feel like I don't. I mean, I don't want to go too far back. We haven't done anything since we were knocked out of Europa League, but I'm not.
we haven't done anything since Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Like on this show, it was before Bournemouth because I remember.
Yep. Because we didn't talk about. We have not talked about that goal.
Yeah.
On this, we have not talked about that goal yet. So fuck it. Let's talk about it a little bit. I mean, I mean, it's been almost a month.
Glenn, you remember that goal? I know you're old as shit, so I don't know if you remember that.
Oh my god, he's already instigating me.
I know.
It's been a while. I gotta get it out. I gotta get it out of my system.
BG, I'm looking for my bug spray. Can Ryan answer the question first?
Dude, I'm so. I mean, my favorite goal that I was there. I saw a lot. I mean, not at the stadium, but that I saw on television live. It was the Welbeck header against Leicester, and it was Valentine's Day, and my now wife was not happy with me when I said Danny Welbeck Valentine. But yeah, I mean this goal I think takes the cake. I was excited, I was pumped up, and yeah, I'll admit it, I cried just because I think it was Reece Nelson. I think I've been a big supporter of his. I've seen him come through the academy, and I really thought he could do something for the team. He offers kind of something that no player does. He has bits of Martinelli, bits of Saka. He has just bits of all of our wingers that we have. I'm not saying he's better than them, but I think he has the qualities of each of our wingers that we have on our team now, and I think he could definitely be a tool that could be used for us like in the future. So when his contract was expiring at the end of June, I was like, I want there to be a way for him to get back in, and he scored the brace again. I'm even going to say I don't remember who he scored, but he scored the brace after coming on for an injured Trossard. And I was okay. I was like, okay, like I like this. Like this is a good step, but I don't think he should have deserved the contract just for that brace. And then he does that against Bournemouth, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like here's a blank check. Like I think just his story I think is great. Constantly being in and out of the team through injury and just through us just signing players. And I knew we thought Trossard was going to be good, but I don't think we thought he was going to be this good. And it just goes the same for for Martinelli, and for Vieira's kind of Arteta really likes him. I know he hasn't really shown what he could really do, but he plays him enough. But yeah, I'm really happy for Nelson, and I started crying like a baby, and I was excited. I was happy. At that point. I was kind of like, again, I said this is obviously all in the moment. I said to myself, like, I don't even care if we win the league. He scored the goal. I was like, I don't even care if we win the league. Like this, I don't think this moment will get replicated for me until the end of the season. But I mean, I obviously hope it does. So yeah.
Yeah, on this show, all three of us have waxed poetic about Reece Nelson and how, we really like him. So I was really excited for him. I tweeted something like, Reece Nelson, ! What the F, how could you not have gone insane? When I was resigned to it being dropping points, I was like, well, can't go on Twitter for a few days, because Arsenal fans, a lot of them tend to just instantly react like the guy on the bottom of this little triangle here. And yeah, it was sheer joy.
I didn't know you were so composed of your emotions. How adult of you.
BG.
What?
Can we put him in a timeout?
No, it's great. It's fantastic.
Okay. But yeah, how could you not be? One of the top moments of the year, of course.
I'm scrolling
Greatest
through the
goal
results.
ever. Greatest goal so far ever at the Emirates.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll even take one step further. I'll take it to that stage. Yeah,
Okay,
I went there.
I love the Welbeck goal, but I mean, and I think it was interesting with that goal too, is because it put us we're like, okay, we just beat the league leaders in Leicester, and we're in the hunt. Like we could win the league. Like we could do this. Obviously, it didn't happen, but that moment was just like, holy shit! Like we could do this. We did a double over, at the time, and eventual Premier League winners, and it kind of cemented us like, okay, we could do something here. Now I think the future is a little. Oh, I mean, obviously we don't know what we're doing now because we do have an 8-point gap from Man City, but not all is secure with that. So yeah, I think if we do end up winning the league, I think it's going to definitely be because of that goal. I will attribute it to that goal as the most important goal in our season.
What makes it? Go ahead, Glenn.
I was just going to say, what Ryan's saying, it's subjective, but I think, you can look at several different points. 2 points come to mind when I think of game changing. The Manchester United game at home with Nketiah scoring that goal.
Yeah.
And that, yeah. So that's it. I'm not trying to fight with you. I almost did.
No, I agree. No, I agree with you. I again, and I'm biased in the opinion that it was Reece Nelson that did that. And we also, who is it? Gabriel scored in Partey, or Partey and Ben White?
Ben White.
No,
Ben
Partey
White
scored. Okay.
Partey.
And it's like 3 guys who don't have a lot of goals for us. It was just a mix of emotions. Bournemouth scored in the first, what was it, 7 seconds?
9 seconds.
Yeah, second fastest in Premier League history. So it was just a lot of records and milestones and things, and just to come back after being down 2-0. And when we scored the first goal in the 70th minute. So, or 60th, I don't even know, but yeah. But I agree. The Man U game was, for me. Well, it's funny. So, the Bournemouth game, the Reece Nelson goal, it was just like a shotgun. I was like, I went nuts for 5-10 minutes. Where the Man U game, it was just and Glenn, you could attest to this. You were there. It was a roller coaster. I was excited. It was just
you were
I was
drunk.
Glenn, go the fuck over there. You're bad luck. Don't come back here.
He did. He was so mean. He was so mean and so nice at the same time. It was like my wife.
I don't doubt it at all.
He walked over to the other side of the bar. I'm going to walk around. I want to take video of this place. I want to see what it looks like. It's really nice. And then they literally score. When he leaves, they score. I'm like, Glenn, you cannot, you can't leave, whatever. But yeah, that was the whole 90 minutes was nuts. And I think too that again, the difference is the competition. You're playing Man U, the only team that beat you at the time, so it was going to be a crazy feisty game. We needed our revenge. Whereas Bournemouth, it's we always drop these fucking games, we always drop these points, and then we start coming back, and you're like, okay, this is nice. But so it's pick your poison.
Where are you, BG? With that Reece Nelson goal.
I was at the bar. So we're trying to get Smoke and Joe's, the bar that I work at. We're trying desperately to turn us into an Arsenal bar. We want to be, the bar in Pittsburgh where Arsenal fans come to watch games. So if you're ever in Pittsburgh, Smoke and Joe's in Southside, 2001 East Carson Street. So that's where I was. I was working, and I actually had turned around. So I had it on. I don't want to go into trying to describe what the bar looks like. We have a lot of TVs in the bar. Not all of the TVs are smart TVs, and I'm fairly certain that game was on Peacock. I don't think
it was.
Yeah, it wasn't on regular network television, so I only had it on certain TVs in the bar. And I turned around right as Odegaard took the corner. And I actually didn't see the corner come in. And then just as I turned around, I saw the ball fall to Reece Nelson off his chest to his left foot. And it was a surreal moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost one of those did I really just see that?
Yeah.
Did that really just happen? I was almost too stunned to react.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those. I was just I like that's my reaction right now. My attempt to try to describe it right now is how I felt in that moment. It was like I don't know what to do. Did we just scored? What just happened here? On the second to last kick of the ball of the game, and what? The Eddie goal against United, I went ballistic. I went absolutely ballistic when he scored that. It was shocking, almost to the point of not being able to react when Reece scored the goal. And I feel the same way about Reece Nelson that Ryan does. I feel like he brings something that we don't necessarily have a ton of. I feel like we have a fair amount of pace in the side. He brings more, and just certain qualities that he has. He's not afraid to shoot, obviously. Very composed in that moment. How many other players? David, thank you for being here, man. Appreciate it. Have a good day at work. How many other players would have just, wildly sent that ball over the crossbar into the crowd? How many other players would have sent it wide? How many other players, I guess my point is, how many other players would have rushed it and not sort of just absorbed a breath and said, okay, I'm slotting this one top shelf, So it was that and Eddie's goal they're going to go down as the goals of the season. No matter what the result of the season is, those two goals are going to go down as the goals of the season for us. But I was at the bar working and like I said, I just couldn't believe it went in. And I was stunned. I was literally stunned into speechlessness. And if you know me, that's a feat in and of itself. So we'll move on. I guess, real quick. We are out of the Europa League, and I'll tell you what, I don't know how you guys felt about it. I was pretty upset in the moment because I just feel like we're a better side than Sporting are, and I feel like we should have won. We should have won that tie, but as time has gone on, I'm not overly disappointed now that time heals all wounds, right? So I've gotten over it. I'm kind of like, okay, it's would have been nice, I think, to win that competition, win that trophy, but okay, let's just focus now on the Premier League, and I get both sides of it. So Glenn, how were you feeling, and how do you feel now being out of it?
It hurt for like 2 days, especially because of that midfield goal that tied it. But after 2 days, this is the God's honest truth. I was like, good riddance. It's like getting rid of a bad girlfriend. It's like the sex was good, but she sucked. And now we can just look straight ahead at the Champions League. Hope I'm not jinxing anything. How do you feel, Ryan, about it?
Same way as BG. It sucked. Watching. I don't even know. I think we're actually linked with him. One of the Sporting players kind of mocking Xhaka and his goal celebration with his daughter, and just I don't know. They were kind of pricks. So I was kind of upset losing to them. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's like I think for our title chances, I think we're better off out of the competition. It would have been nice to bring home a European trophy.
Yeah, of course. It's a trophy.
I keep going back and forth, but at the end of the day, I'm definitely happy we're out. I definitely want us to go all for the Premier League title, and whereas the match congestion would have really been good for us. We get to watch more Arsenal, but I think for the team it would have been interesting to navigate, especially with the Saliba, the Tomiyasu injuries, and now Eddie, and so many injuries that we have now. Go fuck yourself, Ten Hag.
And for people. Excuse me, for people who all of a sudden have budgetary concerns about Arsenal, the winning team in the Europa League gets $2 million. What's that going to do for Arsenal's ballooning budget? Nothing.
Yeah.
Real quick, Demsick put out a question here, and so are you asking us who the 14 different goal scorers for the entire season are?
Do I go in a circle and try to see if all three of us can name 14? I think we can.
I think we can. You want me to start?
Go for it.
Eddie.
Glenn.
What? Oh, I don't freaking know. I don't remember my wife's birthday. You guys
just name a goal scorer.
Just name a goal scorer.
That scored for us.
Who scored a goal?
Jesus.
Yep.
Saka.
I've written them down. I'm crossing them off as we say them. Gabriel. Bangladesh.
Oh, is it my turn? Zinchenko. Yeah. Zinchenko.
Ooh, that's one I missed. Yep.
He did score. Yeah. Well, Thomas Partey.
Granit Xhaka.
Fuck, you went too fast. Did anybody say Gabriel yet? I think he had a header.
Yeah, I said Gabriel.
Did anybody say Nketiah?
No. Yeah, I did. You know what? You know what? I'm going to give you the other Gabriel, though.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Glenn, why don't you name the other Gabriel that we haven't named yet?
So, Ryan, go.
Ben White.
Yep. Martin Odegaard.
Did anybody say Reece Nelson yet?
Nope.
Who's going to say him? Vieira.
Now you're gonna make me cheat.
Wait, did he
yes,
score? Did he score?
Yeah, I think he's in the. See, he definitely scored this season. I just don't know if it was in the Premier League. He definitely scored.
No, he did. Yeah, he did. He did score. We were away. He scored. We were wearing the away kit, the black kit. That's when I don't know why that sticks in my head.
How many do we have left?
Trossard.
Oh, damn it!
How many do we have left?
If this is all of them, we've got one left.
Well,
just think of a starter.
Did anybody say Odegaard yet?
I did.
Unlikely
goal scorer.
Don't give him the answer. I know who it is.
I don't think Smith Rowe has a goal. Does he have a goal this year?
Ooh.
Wait, Tanner, count how many we have.
13.
We have to. Oh, we do. Okay, so we have one
Smith
more.
Rowe?
No, I know it, Glenn.
I heard something wrong. Move on.
Saliba.
William Saliba.
Fudge.
14.
Oh, now I say fudge.
Glenn loses.
I don't care.
Okay. Oh, no, Demsek. Somebody said Partey.
Yeah, we got it.
I heard Partey.
Yeah, we named. We got this.
Yeah, we got him. So basically, the 10 regular outfield players that are our starting 11 plus Trossard. That's not. Yeah, plus Trossard, Nelson, Vieira, and Eddie. So, interesting question. Now, I don't. It's not a very good segue into this, but I've been seeing this question posed a lot on Twitter. I think we know across the back four and in the midfield, we know who's going to start. Who are you starting across the front? Who's your front? Who's your attacking three for Sunday at Liverpool?
Ooh.
Saka, Jesus, and Martinelli. We need the fluidity of those three.
Now, is Eddie healthy?
No,
I don't think Eddie's healthy yet.
No.
So you're going to drop Trossard.
Yeah. I know he's been playing out of his mind, but I would just tell him, look, it's a strategy thing. You're going to be in the second half. What are you sighing about?
Because I don't know who I'm picking.
Oh, it's tough. It really is.
He always thinks I'm out to get him.
Yeah.
Easy.
It is, man, it is tough. It's a good problem to have. And the one thing that everybody says on Twitter, when I say everybody, it's like it's a lot of the things that I see on Twitter. How do we get these guys playing time and keep them happy and everything else? Like, here's the thing. For right now, everybody's going to have a role to play. It just might not be as a starter. Reece Nelson has a role to play here. He's going to come on and do it as a sub. Barring injury, knock on wood, he's not going to start, but he has a role to play. So now we get to Saka, Martinelli, Jesus, Trossard. Wow. I mean, it is an abundance of riches when we think about it. But I look at this as this team is being built for next season. I think when I'm going to go if you'll bear with me, I'm going to go a little off topic here real quick, and then we'll reel it back in. Trossard, when the I can't even remember his name now. Whoever the Ukrainian is that went to Chelsea, Mudryk. So I feel like that would have been a signing, not even necessarily for next year, but perhaps the year after and the year after that. Trossard, when they had to shift gears and go sort of find a replacement, which that'll be the last time I call Trossard a replacement for Mudryk, because I do not think in any sort of alternate universe that Mudryk would have done for this team what Trossard has done for this team.
But to be fair, I think we knew that.
When
we talked about it, we knew Trossard was coming in for the now. We knew he's a guy that's going to help us bring it over the line this season and potentially the next couple seasons too. But we knew Mudryk was for the future. We knew Mudryk was going to set us up later. So it's like tough to like kind of compare, but it's the Jorginho Sambi debate. It's like, well, not Sambi. Who's the other guy? Caicedo.
Oh, Caicedo.
Do you want to set us up for the future? Even though we kind of already are, but like Caicedo can make an impact now, but he's young and he can help us years down the line. Whereas Jorginho, like, he'll probably be in a wheelchair next season. We'll probably beat him out.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's the same concept. So to be like, I guess you can compare the two because Mudryk was bought for 100 million for Chelsea, kind of funny, and then we bought Trossard for what 40. So they play similar positions. So like I get that, but it's like we knew from just our standpoint in buying the players, we knew Mudryk was going to be I think he would have played a little bit of a role this season, but obviously not as much as Trossard. But I do think Trossard's more of a now thing, and definitely a good signing for us, especially since we're 8 points up and we really have a shot to win this thing. And I can't say that Mudryk would have us in the same position, which just quick little, I guess, kind of drifting off, but not really. You got to think Mudryk did not want to go to Chelsea just by the way he's playing. He's not good. He's not playing well for Chelsea. Chelsea aren't playing well. I get that, but a player like Mudryk, like even when your team is playing like shit, a player like him, his talent's going to kind of seep through, and you can kind of see his pace, his ability on the ball, his movement. Not even seeing that. I don't who they play, Liverpool, I think. Apparently he got, or maybe it was game before the Liverpool game. I don't remember now. He got booed off. He was so bad when he came off the 60th minute. So I mean, to me, that's just a player that's like, I fucked up. I don't want to be here. This isn't where I wanted to play. So sucks to suck.
I don't care how upset Mudryk is after all his little Twitter kisses in the January transfer window, his Twitter kisses to Arsenal fans. Look, I don't know of anyone. Perhaps there are people that are happy. The day after the window ended and we didn't get those top guys that we wanted, and we got Trossard and Jorginho. Okay. I saw more than one. Edu doesn't know what he's doing. Sack him. And I was like 99.9% of Arsenal fans. I was disappointed. Now I wouldn't switch that around for anything. You know what I'm saying? Let Mudryk be miserable at Chelsea. We got Jorginho. I know you don't like him personally, but you appreciate his talent, Ryan. And Trossard, who I think we have already dubbed a lot like Arshavin. And you know what? I'm happy. And the January transfer window was the last time I was going to question Arteta and Edu because they knocked it out of the park.
I mean, they got it. They really did get it spot on. I mean, Jorginho, for everything that he lacks in pace and even Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong here, I'll take it a step further, mobility. I'm not even going to just say speed. I'll say just his overall mobility is lacking, but his ability to pick out a pass is damn near second to none in this team, and it may very well be second to none in this team. But my point with the Trossard thing, and even Jorginho, I mean, we'll throw him in there as well. This team is being built for the Champions League. And that's next year. I mean, we knew we didn't have it going into this year, but when you look at the way that we're starting to set up and the way that players are being rotated in and out and the things that Arteta is doing, he's starting to set things up for the return to Champions League next season. So to bring it back now, I don't even remember where we were here. Son of a bitch. Oh, we were talking about who we're starting our front three,
right? And I'm dying to know who you guys are going to pick.
So you said Martinelli, Saka, Jesus. So the original,
it's completely strategic. I know Trossard is brilliant. I know.
Well, I mean, I think we have a fair amount of brilliance overall across the, when we consider the depth that we have across the front three. I think it's. I'm going to use the word from Jefe in the Three Amigos. We have a plethora of talent across the front three.
A plethora.
Jefe, do you know what a plethora is? Oh, wow.
Oh my God, me and
BG
bringing up all these.
You are once again mad at something else and taking it out on Jefe.
You're gonna kill Ryan with all these '80s movies.
You guys are so fucking old.
Dude, that's the Three Amigos. Come on, man. You've seen the Three Amigos.
Oh, that was that Martin Short, Steve Martin, and who? Chevy Chase. Yeah.
Okay, go on. So you guys were telling us who you'd start up front against Liverpool.
The Invisible Swordsman, the Singing Bush, and sorry, still Three
Singing
Amigos.
Bush. Oh, I got it.
All right. Ryan, I'll let you think about it a little bit more. Oh man, boy, oh boy. I'm starting Saka for sure. Is anyone? Let's see if we can come to a consensus here. Is anyone not starting Saka?
No.
Ryan, I guess would you drop Saka?
No. I was gonna be cute and say Smith Rowe, Reece Nelson, and
no. I thought about the Smith Rowe thing. Like,
no. But seriously, no.
Said the guy with the Smith Rowe kit. Go ahead.
Think about, though, just real quick. Think about the message that sends to everyone, to Liverpool, to our own players. For if Arteta were to do something, I think the message that it would send to our players is, I'm comfortable in running anyone in this squad out there right now. I'm going to throw out two guys to start a massive game because I have faith in those guys. He's not going to do it. But, boy, imagine if you're Jurgen Klopp in Liverpool and you look at that and all of a sudden you're thinking, what the fuck is this guy doing? And then you get your ass run off the pitch. That's what Smith Rowe and Reece Nelson would do to that back four of Liverpool.
Dude, I just got to say, we should be happy we have these problems and even this argument over who's starting. Last time we contended for a title, a Leicester year, up front we had Olivier Giroud,
Walcott, and
Ox, right? Is that who we had up front?
Ox was the
Ox was. Okay. Yeah. It was. Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, but you get my point.
Yeah.
It's nice. We got, wow. I'm really excited for this. Some people, just talking about Liverpool real quick, because I'll forget to say this after you ask your next question, BG. I know I'm not rooting for it, but I heard that two people missed training for Liverpool yesterday. Salah and I have it.
I don't know the other person, but I know Salah.
Well, Van Dijk didn't play Tuesday, but apparently he's playing Sunday. He's ready to go. Was that who you're thinking of, Glenn? Was it Van Dijk?
I don't know. I'm trying to.
I know Salah was training today.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, Salah trained today?
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know who the other person is.
Okay, and Glenn is gone.
Glenn got attacked by bees.
All right, so Saka, we're not dropping.
Yeah.
So really, it becomes 3 guys for 2 spots, right? I mean, I don't think Smith Rowe or Nelson are going to be in consideration.
No.
So we're talking Trossard, Martinelli, or Jesus for 2 spots. I think I'm inclined to agree with Glenn. The more as I kind of rolling this through my head here, I think I'm inclined to agree with Glenn. I want Jesus's ability to create on his own, and I want Martinelli's pace on the wing. I just feel like that gives us, Saka can be a little bit of a bully. He can also beat you with pace. He can also beat you with his quickness. Jesus is just, he's a master lockpick at this point, and Martinelli can just burn you with his pace. So Glenn, you and I are in agreement. You missed me, you lot, but I'm in agreement with you. I'm going with Jesus, Martinelli, and Saka across front 3. So like I said, when you got cut off there, what I said to Ryan is it comes down really to 3 guys for 2 spots. So really the question becomes, who do you drop? And I think one other thing that I'll throw into this, and I don't think we've missed a beat with Trossard being in there. Does it maybe depend on who Arteta wants as the number 9 between Jesus and Martinelli? Or even, I guess Trossard has even kind of played that role a little bit as well, and when he's been filling in as a starter. So, Ryan, go ahead, Glenn. Go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to
think a little bit more.
I already know what I'm picking, so it's fine.
I just wanted to say that I think with Arteta, it's going to be whatever his strategy is for Liverpool, and I trust him. And I wish that I could send a clip of me saying that to me about 2 years ago, because I was a big Arteta critic and the way he, conducted games and managed games. And, if Trossard starts instead of Martinelli or Saka, I'm not going to complain. I'm just saying I think it's strategic. And now, Ryan, I'm dying to hear who you start up front.
So I think the brace for Jesus was huge. I think if he didn't score in this game, I would contemplate. I would contemplate actually sitting him. A big game. You're out at Anfield. When you haven't scored in a while. I know a lot of it's is he's been injured, but you force it too much, and you're just your game is just different. But he had that brace, a penalty, and a non-penalty goal, which I thought was huge. I think penalty was nice. Don't get me wrong, but to me the non-penalty goal was way more important. Scoring in the run of play. I'm actually gonna disagree with you guys, and I'm gonna pick Trossard. I think Trossard is just gonna. It depends. Do you want Martinelli to run it? Alexander-Arnold, or do you want Trossard to dribble around Alexander-Arnold? Honestly, I don't really give a shit. I think he's a terrible defender, and I think we're gonna get through him regardless. I think Trossard's way to link up with everybody and move around the pitch, I think is going to help us more in the beginning stages of the game. And I know we like to come out with a big bang, and I think I would rather have the stability of Trossard's passing and his movement off the ball. Whereas I get it, Martinelli does the same. He does that too. He's not bad at it either. But I think you just bring his speed on, 60 minutes. You'd be like, oh, you're tired. Oh, good. We saved our fast guy for this. And I think, in my opinion, Martinelli will have a bigger impact than Trossard coming off the bench. And I just think Trossard is going to be. I just like Trossard linking up with Odegaard and Jesus better for right now.
So wait, I'm sorry. Tell me again. I apologize. Who are you dropping in favor of Trossard?
Martinelli.
That's what I. Okay, that's what I thought.
I think he's the out of the. I didn't think it's out of the 4. Out of those 4 players, I think he's the best person to come off the bench for us against Liverpool.
It's a really good problem to have. I'm glad I'm not Arteta. I'm glad I don't have to make this decision.
I'd love to be Arteta, right?
I mean, it would. I mean, the other thing too is, how are they getting on in training? How do they look? Do they Do they look confident in training? Do they, is there a little nagging injury maybe? Trossard was the last one to actually be subbed off because of an injury. Saka was getting kicked all over the pitch during the international break. So, could there be something there that influences his decision on who he starts? Ryan makes a great point with the brace that Jesus had against Leeds, which was something I didn't even take into consideration, to be honest with you. But boy, oh boy, 2 goals has really that's got to boost your confidence. That's got to give him a big boost of confidence now going into a game that let's face it, he's played in some pretty big matches against Liverpool in recent years, being a City player. So he knows what this is all about as well. I like the idea of bringing Trossard on as the sub because he does bring something a little different, and I don't necessarily know that he's going to look for the pass first. I don't know that I want to classify Trossard as a guy who'd rather get the assist than the goal. But he does have that he's got 7 assists? Did he have? I don't think he had one against Leeds. I could be wrong, but I don't believe he did.
Yeah, he did. He had 1.
Did he have an assist? So he's got 8 assists.
He assisted Jesus' second goal.
Oh, that's right. Shit. That's right. So he's got 8 assists now, I think. For us.
9. Oh, for us. I think he has 7. But he might have 8.
No, I think he had 7 before. He had 7.
I know he has 9 now. I don't know how many
total. So that's all comps. Yeah. 9 total.
No, Premier League he has 9.
I would look it up,
but it counts. It counts for Brighton too. I don't know how many assists he had for Brighton before he came here.
I would look it up, but I tried to see who else did miss training for Liverpool, and I wound up disconnecting you guys. So I'm not looking it up.
Hang on. Here's another point. Matt De Souza. Trossard had a hat trick at Anfield when he was with Brighton earlier in the season.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy. That may change my mind. I didn't even think about that either. That might have to drop Martinelli, throw Trossard in there. And you know what? I think I'm changing my mind. Glenn, I'm sorry. I think I'm going to agree with Ryan.
Hey, but it's all subjective.
The Trossard thing, the hat trick that he had, the assists that he can contribute, but also Martinelli's pace coming off the bench against a tired Trent Alexander-Arnold, that could be a game changer as well. If Alexander-Arnold's been out there running, trying to keep up with Trossard and Jesus, for 60, 65 minutes, and then all of a sudden you take Trossard off and you say, okay, now you've got to defend this guy and try to keep up with him too.
If we need speed in the second half, put Reece Nelson on the bench.
I mean, that's another
5 substitutions.
That's. I mean, he's going to get it. He's going to get a shirt. Smith Rowe gets a shirt for sure. Whoever doesn't start across the top 3 gets a shirt. Let's talk about Saliba for a minute and the injury that he has. He is not trained all week. Ryan, am I wrong?
He's a doubt for Liverpool. Actually, I think he's a doubt for Liverpool. He's not playing.
If he didn't train all week, he's not playing.
The fact that Arteta says we hope to have him back this season at some point. I don't think he's back for a while. I don't think he's back for a while.
What is it? Is it a groin?
No, it's back. It's his back.
Oh, it's his back.
Back pain's the worst.
Yeah, that's.
I got that you can't get surgery on. You can't. It's just either you have it or you. It's just it comes and goes. So I don't know. They have to be cautious about it. Which you know what? Yes, it's definitely. Don't get me wrong. It's upsetting. It sucks. But Holding, I think, has done a great job in his 2 games he's played. So keeps it up.
When I retweeted BG's promo that we were having the show today, I made a joke about how, I'm a little more positive than you guys, and I didn't know that he didn't train all week, and now I've seen this happen twice before, and it's making me crazy that people have such short-term memory. Okay, I am extremely concerned about Holding playing and starting against Liverpool. Yes, he fills in great all the time. Him and his magic hair. Did you see his hair now? Not only does he have some, Murray the wig on, he's got a bun now. He's got a fucking bun. Okay. Anyway, my point about Holding is I appreciate his service. I really do. And he always fills in great. But against teams like Liverpool in huge games is when he makes his big mistake. And now I'm a little less confident knowing that he's going to start against Liverpool. I hate to be semi-negative. I can't stand Holding against the top 4 teams. I know Liverpool's not top 4 right now, but you know what I mean.
But you can't. I guess what's the other option?
Well, there is no other option. Sucks.
Yeah, you get Ben.
You move Ben White in. You move Ben White inside.
Or yes, you're a friggin' genius. No Holding against Liverpool. Move Ben White inside. Is Tom? Oh, Tomiyasu's hurt too, right?
Yeah. So who
Can
covers
Tierney
it right
play
back?
on the right? Oh no, he's a.
Glenn, you want to blow up the whole back 4 because of Holding? Like, come on. No. I want Holding to start.
I know.
I think
it makes sense.
I think Holding will actually. I'm not saying he's going to be amazing, and yes, I pulled a muscle in the back. I don't know if that counts.
I've had back surgery, so yeah.
Oh, well, okay.
I'm not trying to one up you. I'm just saying.
You just did.
I did.
I think Liverpool's, Nunez, Gakpo, and I know if Salah plays, they have physical forwards, and Holding loves physical battle. So like I like that. But I think as Matthew De Souza said, it looks like Liverpool is gonna. Was that Matthew De Souza? I don't know.
Dempsey said Klopp has suggested Liverpool are going to defend deep and play on the counter.
If that's the case, yeah, I'd be a little worried for Holding, but he's been great the 2 games, and I get it. It was what? It was Leeds and Jesus Christ, who the fuck did we play?
Do you guys remember when Holding got that friggin' red card?
I don't know, but he took.
Do you remember, or did it just slip down the memory hole?
Oh, Glenn, because they were playing. They were playing Tottenham. I think it was very emotionally charged. It was a game that we really needed to win. And I think his emotions got the best of him. And I think the emotions got the best of a lot of players that day.
Yeah.
So let's not all jump on Holding here. Is Holding on par with Saliba? No. It's definitely a drop off. But you look at his stats again against Leeds. I get that, but only so much you can compare it to. Very similar passing statistics, very similar, recoveries, interceptions, all that stuff. So he played a very similar game to Saliba. Now, again, Liverpool's definitely a jump up. And I think Liverpool's going to be a little more physical. But again, I think that's where Holding excels. I think he excels the physicality. Problem is he needs to just stay and not get booked. He needs to not get booked early. Don't do anything crazy. But I think if we have the starting 11 that we had against Leeds, I think they'll cover Holding just fine. I think we'll be okay. And let's also not forget Liverpool is not Liverpool. Like yes, they're at Anfield. It's going to be a tough fight whenever we go to Anfield. But this what are they 8th, 7th? Like they're not playing well.
Yeah.
So
I mean they go and they pound United by 7, but then lose to Bournemouth the following weekend.
Yeah.
So, try to figure them out. Good luck. With Rob Holding, look, this is if I'm in the dressing room, during training,
that was their last win, by the way, was the Man U game.
Yeah, that was how long ago?
Yeah, they've lost to Bournemouth, they lost to Real Madrid Champions League. Yeah, they lost to Man City and they drew against Chelsea.
That's right. Yeah. So
they're like us 2 years ago. They're gonna. This is unacceptable. You guys, you really think it would upset the whole cart if we sat Holding and moved Ben White into okay. Yeah. Okay, then I won't beat that drum anymore.
Yeah, the thing with Holding is this is what I would tell. Look,
because also you're telling your players like, okay, I don't trust Holding. I think our team right now is such a chemically, like just the chemistry, the family, the friendship that everybody has to like move things around just so a player can't start. And let's face it, Holding is a leader in this team. He's a leader in the dressing room. He's had the armband for us this season multiple times. So he's looked up to in this club. To like move things around just to sit him. It's a slap in the face to him and to people that look up to him. It's like, well, I get what you're saying, Glenn, because I had very similar thoughts when Saliba got hurt. Like, oh, can Tierney play center back? Yeah, he can. Can Ben White? Yeah, he can. But Ben White is probably the best right back in the league right now.
Yeah.
Him and Zinchenko as our fullbacks, I think, is the way to go. And Tierney's more of a left center back. And in a back three, not really in a back two. So I don't, and that's just I wouldn't like that. I'd rather have Holding than Tierney as our center back. So
now you convinced me that I'm being a little harsh.
A little
on Hold. Well, because it's like the difference with Holding in there because of an injury, that's going to be a difference. But you made a point about Ben White possibly being the best right back in the league, and I couldn't argue that in my head. I'm like, he's right. He is the best right back in the league. So to take your best right back in the league and throw him in the middle, I'll give it to you guys. I'm just really worried about Holding. Okay, I know I might seem like I'm overreacting, but I've seen it happen twice, and I just get so.
He's definitely I mean, if I don't want to rank the players, but is he like the weak link? I mean, I wouldn't even say he's a weak link, but is he like number 11 of 11? Of our power rankings of players, yeah, probably. But I think our team is so good. I think they're the game is not going to be decided by one player.
And the other thing too, with Holding is we keep talking about players that you need in the team that just like Mohamed El Neni. He's a glue guy. He's not the guy that's gonna set the world on fire and and blow you away. But you need that guy in the side, and that's also a little bit of Rob Holding as well. He's just that glue guy, that veteran presence. He's been there before. He's been he's been a part of this side for how long now? And as long as he doesn't try to do too much, as long as he doesn't try to play beyond his abilities, we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine as long as he doesn't have a brain cramp and decide that he wants to play as a right wing or something, we'll be just fine. Just at the end of the day, and I know it's simplistic and it's cliched at this point, but just do your job. Just do your job. Don't try to do anything more than that. You do your job, and the guy next to you does his, and the guy in front of you does his, and the guy behind you does his. Everything works. And this team is good enough where everybody does their job. And what is implied is do your job well. But you do your job, and everything's fine.
I just got to say, because I'm used to admitting when I'm wrong because I've been married so long. But you know what? You guys are making a lot of sense. Reece Nelson had his moment to contribute to this title run. Let's see Holding do it. Get in there and give us your best. And
you know what? And he has that in him as well. He can. Now, Matt DeSouza brought up a good point here, I believe. Darwin Nunez will look to receive long diagonals and get early success via Holding. It's not a bad shout.
Can't you see Klopp doing that all game long?
No, but again, understand
Holding
your
is
role.
one player.
Yeah, I mean I'm not. Would I rather have Saliba? Yes, but I don't want. I'd rather have a 100% Rob Holding than an 80% William Saliba. I'd rather have a 100% Rob Holding than a 90% William Saliba.
You guys are right. All right, you're right.
So,
Holding's in.
I get.
Sounds better every time, Glenn.
You and myself have talked me into it. So. The right back thing you said, Ryan, was so perfect. He's the best right back in the league. We're going to move him inside now. You're right.
Well, here's a good question: bigger loss, Tomiyasu or Saliba? And I'll go first on this.
I think this is so easy, but okay.
I mean, so it's multi-pronged, really. Saliba's a starter. Tomiyasu is not.
Yeah. Keep going. You go first on. You're doing good.
Yeah. So the bigger loss right off the bat is Saliba because he's a starter. If you're talking, the bigger loss is Saliba. I'll answer maybe a different question a different way. We can probably afford to lose Saliba more than we can afford to lose Tomiyasu, because if you lose Ben White, there is no right back right now behind Ben White. There's no cover for him. Now, if Ben White goes down, now we're scrambling.
You have Partey.
Now can say what?
You have Partey. He played right. He was the guy that played right back when Ben White was out.
I mean, is he going to?
I don't agree with it, but I'm just telling you that's what they did.
You know, so the bigger loss on the surface is Saliba. I mean, when you lose a starter versus a guy that's second fiddle, I think that's the bigger loss. So Ryan.
Well, it's not even like I don't mean to offend you, Demsek, if I do say this, but I think it's Saliba, and it's not. I don't even think this should even be a question. You know, Tomiyasu is a great player. Don't get me wrong. It's Saliba. So by your logic, okay, Tomiyasu's hurt. If Ben White gets hurt, we're fucked. Well, guess what? If Saliba's hurt and Rob Holding gets hurt, who's the other center? Then what do you do? Yeah, then I guess you're gonna have to move Ben White, and you have to do all this shit. You're gonna fuck the whole back four up. No. I think it's Saliba. It's not even close. I love Tomiyasu, but he wasn't getting any game time to begin with. So, and I think Saliba is a big part of our defense as well as our build-up play, and he's good on the ball. He's good passing. If a team like Liverpool want to counterattack us, Saliba is the fastest center back in the league. So, it's not even a question to me.
The thing with Saliba is he's such a badass. I never worry when he's on the ball. I think the question should have been like, who would be the worst person to lose if Saliba gets hurt? And I think you could argue Tomiyasu, because he can play in the middle too. The dude's over 6 feet tall, and he has played there before. But yeah, I think it's a pretty easy question as the way it's presented is Saliba.
Fair. Yeah, I think it's an interesting question.
It definitely is.
I don't want to be, and I do like Demsek. I think he provides great content for the chat. I don't think it's an interesting question. I don't understand. And I guess because he made a comment saying Tomiyasu could play right back, left back, and left center back. Yes, he could play more positions than Saliba. Technically, Saliba could play right back as well, but we haven't seen Tomiyasu play left center back for Arsenal. So really, it's right back, left back, and then it's like, okay, you're a backup fullback. Am I more upset about a backup fullback or the best center back in the league? Like who? Like it? And that's fair. Everyone's got opinions, and I respect that. But it's like, would I rather lose a backup fullback or a starting center back? And I'm going to caveat that and saying he's the best center back in the league. I would rather lose my backup fullback.
Yeah, it comes down to, I think, playing time. If Tomiyasu can't break the starting, and let's also remember when against City, when Arteta for whatever reason decided to give Tomiyasu the start instead of Ben White, what happened? So, but
that's a game that Tomiyasu gave the ball away. Yeah, that sucked.
But Demsek, I love the questions that you're asking. Please don't.
Yeah, no, keep asking questions.
Yeah. In fact, I'll tell you what. If you guys have any questions you'd like us to answer, go ahead and throw them in the chat. We'll hang a little bit longer and we'll throw some questions up here. Get those answered for you. We don't do that too often. So go ahead, if you've got a question, throw it up there. We'll bring it on.
Looks like we can't hang out for too long.
Nope, Gwen's got to go. That's it.
Oh no, wait. Okay. She's working just past this wall here. I'm outside, and she.
She can't hear me. You have earphones on. She can't hear me talking.
Guys, shh.
I think you're the one that needs to.
You're so fucking old.
Idiot. For 5 seconds earlier today, I forgot what year it was. What the fuck?
Sounds about right.
Hey, listen. I can get 5 more minutes. Just talk amongst yourselves.
That's what I said to my prom date.
Come on, guys. Seriously.
All right, Glenn. I'm gonna give you I'm going to give you the you can start with a final word here. Just, talk a little bit about Liverpool, what you're expecting from Sunday. If you want to give a prediction, fine. If you don't,
Yeah,
that's fine.
no. She told me if you could wrap it up quickly, I'd appreciate it. She's being cool about it right now. That's the ringtone I have set for her, so it always sounds ominous. You should
Because
see
it usually is. Let's face it.
Yeah.
You should see it when that goes off in the middle of a store. Anyway, okay. um, okay. My heart says we win 2-1, but my head says 2-2 draw. That's not me playing music. That's my neighbor.
Sounds like a weed whacker.
That's me. Weed whacker's me.
Oh, that's all I hear. I hear somebody like with a lawnmower or a weed whacker or something.
I think that's me.
Well, I have to. My wife's in my little YouTube space doing her work.
I don't hear any background noise. That's Ryan.
Oh, okay. I apologize.
No, it's fine.
It is very loud.
Yeah.
I hear it through my headphones.
So I'm sitting. I guess
I copped out and gave you 2 answers, so I'm going to say 2-2. I'm going to listen to my head instead of my heart.
Fuck it.
I don't like saying 2-2. I like to be honest.
I don't do predictions. So
I know
every time
you
I do it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whatever prediction I give, I'm always wrong. So.
That's because in times like this, you give these nutty predictions like we're going to lose 4-0.
Let me ask one last question, Glenn, and then we'll let you drop out. Ryan and I will finish up. Let me ask one last question, and then I'm gonna go to Ryan, but I'm gonna ask it of you first. Okay. How nervous are you? Within the context of this season and how roller coaster this Liverpool side have been, how nervous are you? Is it bum puckering time?
I like what do they call it? Squeaky bum time in the UK. I love that.
I don't know why they call it squeaky bum.
It's different for everybody, but I get really, really nervous. But I found an out that always makes me calm down. All right, you ready? Listen up. I don't know if it'll work for you, but it works for me.
Oh.
I didn't think we were going to contend for a title this year. I'm just enjoying the ride. Whatever happens. I get to watch a game at Liverpool, and we're up by 8. They have a game in hand, MC, but whatever. That's how I look at it. If I get super nervous, like, oh shit, Holding's starting. No, I never thought we'd be here in the first place. I'm enjoying this. This is going to be the first time, if Arsenal win the title, that it's like a really social media experience, and I can't wait for it.
You weren't enjoying the ride 5 minutes ago when you were screaming about Rob Holding getting a red card and sent off against Tottenham.
Right. And 5 minutes ago, I didn't tell you to go fuck yourself. So
you did. No, you did, Glenn.
I did.
You did like 4 times already in the show. Yeah, no, you did.
I'm sorry about that, BG. I hope you didn't rate this video for kids. Go ahead.
I never do. Ryan and I are part of it too, so it's never rated for children. Believe me.
But guys, I had a wonderful time. Thank you so much. I don't want to get out of the good graces with the wife, so take it easy. Talk to
you. He didn't even finish.
I love when he just. By the way, that's what he does whenever we sign off and we're all done with the show. We usually sit around and at least say goodbye to each other. I'm telling them this. I'm obviously not telling you this. I'm telling the viewers this, but he doesn't do that. When I play the outro video, he gone.
He's out of here.
He is out like a boner in sweatpants, man. Sam, these guys know all about being naked in front of each other. Yes, we do. Sam said you squeak your bum moving nervously around on your seat, but you need to be naked for it to work, I think. Well, Glenn. Sorry, Sam. Sam, I will try that later on. Not going to do it right now. Matt has a question for us. If we draw on Sunday, is it likely that we then can't afford to lose at City? Ryan?
So if we draw, we would have a,
and this assumed, and Matt, I assume that
we'd have a 6 point.
You're assuming that City will win these games then.
Yeah.
So that would mean that they gain 6 points on us, which would mean they'd have a game in hand and a 2-point difference. They'd be behind us.
Yeah, no, I mean, it would be unfortunate, but I again, knocking on wood, I don't see City winning out. I don't see City winning 10 games. So, I mean, if we draw Sunday, we definitely don't want to lose to City. That that's like, no, we need to, maybe park the bus. And I'm not parked. I'm just kidding. But I just don't see City winning. I mean, yes, I guess to be comfortable and to enjoy the ride and not have squeaky bum time. Yeah, I agree. We can't lose to City, but I think in the grand scheme of things, I don't think City's gonna win out. So
yeah, I mean, it's so hard to say, and when we look at these games, we tend to look at them in a vacuum. And without looking at the context of the whole season, let's not forget, we lost at Everton, we drew Brentford at home, whether we should have or not. That result is there. The result is there, and it's not going to change. We drew at Southampton earlier in the season, so you can't look at these games and say we have to beat Liverpool. Now, no, we should have beaten Everton and Southampton. We should have beaten Brentford. And if we win those games, this isn't, then yeah, we can afford to lose to Liverpool, and we can afford to lose to City, and then we have the 8-point lead. By rights, we should be running away with this thing right now. When we look back at some of the draws and losses that we've had this season, not to be negative, but we should be running away with the title at this point. At this point, it really should be. We should be counting down the matches at this point to winning the league. Just where do we get to a point where City are mathematically eliminated from being able to catch us? That's where we should be, but we're not. We are where we are. So, I hate to say we can afford to lose, because I don't want that mentality to seep in to anyone. I don't want it to seep into the fan base. I certainly don't want it to creep in with the players or staff in the dressing room come Sunday. So I think, look, you play to win the game. And, the worst thing I think we can come away with is a draw. A draw at Anfield. A draw at Anfield this season, and again, it depends on how we play, because we've had games where we should have beaten Southampton. We drew them. We were the better team there. We should have beaten United. The game we were better than United when we lost at Old Trafford. We should have beaten them. But at the end of the day, I guess we control what we can. We can't control what's going to happen out there. The best we can do is hope that they come out and put in the same shift that they've put in for the majority of this season and go out and do the job. I'm going to ask you, Ryan, what I asked Glenn. How nervous are you? I mean, it is Liverpool, and I'm just like, I guess I see Liverpool and I just think it's Liverpool of 4 or 5 years ago. It's Liverpool of 2 years ago. It's just they're Liverpool. But then you look at the standings, you say, but they're not. But that doesn't change the perception of them that I have. So I'm pretty nervous for Sunday.
I'm not nervous at all. But I'm going to be I'm not nervous at all, just by what we've done this season and the surprise to many. I mean, I predicted us to finish third, so like I knew we were going to be better than most people. But no, I'm not nervous. But when the game starts, we could be playing City, we could be playing Southampton, we could be playing Sporting, we could be playing Dundalk. When the game is live and going on, you're always nervous, because sometimes games, all it takes is one false step, one brain freeze, one miss kick, anything, and that's it. 3 points gone. And I'm also a competitive person, so like I'm gonna be screaming at the TV, and everything that goes Liverpool's way, it's gonna make me nervous. But that's just how I am when I watch games. But no, I'm not nervous at all. I think we're a better team than them. I think Anfield is always a tough place to play, but I think our away fans are just so fucking good. I think they're just awesome. I think they've really brung it every time they've traveled. We're definitely going to need them on Sunday. It's not even a question. Like they are going to be a decider in how many points we get. Because I think it's so weird. So part of me is like, it's just a place. Who gives a shit if you're home or away? Like, yeah, you're playing in front of a majority of fans that don't want you to win. but then it's like, yeah, no, it's the stats are there, the things are there, but I just think our away fans are really going to be the X factor in this game, and I think they really need to be behind the team, and I think they. I mean, I know they will be. We got to be prepared, ready to go. And it's funny because on the All or Nothing documentary, Arteta played the Anfield crowd during training to kind of like get them ready, and it obviously didn't work. But it's funny because I think if he had done it for this game, I think it would work. I think it would help. But like the fact that he already did it and like we got battered. We lost 4-1, 4-0. I don't know if he does it this week, but it's going to be interesting regardless because Liverpool haven't won. I think they've lost their last 4, or they haven't won in their last 4.
Haven't won in their last 4.
So yeah, they'll be looking to get a win, and I think they're going to play well. I think they're going to perform, but it's just keep. I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about us. Like if we play our game, Liverpool has a big task ahead of them. We don't have a big task ahead of us.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, I think the pressure is. I mean, there's pressure for both. I think the pressure. I think they'll feel. I've said this before. I think we're still young enough where we're naive, and we don't necessarily feel the pressure. I just think. Excuse me.
You're looking me on.
Oh, sorry. I just think there's a young and refreshing naivety to our club, to our group of players that they just want to go out and play. They don't worry about what happens if we lose this game. They don't worry about what happens if we win this game. They just go out and play the game. And then when the game is over, they move on. Win, lose, or draw, they move on. They don't. This group doesn't seem to get too high. They don't seem to get too low. They seem to stay pretty even keeled, and just let the result be the result. We can't change it after the fact. So the result is the result, and you move on. And then we look ahead to playing West Ham next week, or the following weekend. That's it. So I think, I'd agree with Russ on this. It's a mental thing against Liverpool at Anfield. It's been so long since we beat them on their turf. They usually turn us over rotten. They do. This is a different group. Are there obviously Jacques has been there. Saka has been there. But boy, you look at a lot of the players in this side, they've not been there. With us, as an Arsenal player, they've not been there. They've not experienced all of the bashings that we've taken at Anfield. So, and I think that's a good thing. Look, you hope that, somebody like Saka says, look, I've been kicked all over this pitch, coming here to play these guys. It's time to go out and change things up, change the narrative now. Get a little angry about it. Don't go AFC Richmond angry against West Ham. For those of you that watched Ted Lasso and watched episode.
I didn't watch this. I didn't watch this season. Don't you dare spoil shit.
That's all I say no more.
When's the second half come out? Because I know the first half's out already.
No, they've been releasing it weekly, like one episode a week. So they every Wednesday they release a new episode. So next Wednesday there's a new episode. So it'll be episode 5 of this season. I don't know how many episodes they're doing. But anyway, that's basically where I'm at with going to Liverpool. It's Liverpool. It's the Premier League. I mean, anything can happen. If we were going to, as bad as West Ham has been this year, I'm going to be nervous going to West Ham. There's just something there. I guess maybe the traditional, teams the teams that historically give us problems. West Ham away has historically given us problems. Obviously, Liverpool historically away has given us a lot of problems. But But again, I go back to, if we do our job, we will be, I think we'll be in a good place. So I'm not going to give a prediction. I will be opening the bar Sunday, which is nice. I don't have to work Saturday night, so I'll actually get some sleep. But I'll be at the bar. Anybody that's going to be in Pittsburgh, if you're watching, more than welcome to come down and watch Arsenal Liverpool. But yeah, that's about it. So you want to do final thought and get out of here?
Yeah. I mean, just again, like I think we need to worry about ourselves, not them. I think Anfield can be a scary place, but they're not the same Liverpool. We need to play the team, not the stadium, not the fans. Yeah, I think we're too hungry. I think we are just playing a couple levels ahead of Liverpool, and I think we just need to just shake off the fact that we're in Anfield, which I know is easier said than done. Yeah, easier said than done. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting, and hopefully we can have a nice victory, get the win and 3 points, and they're big 3 points because like we were talking about earlier, a tie kind of doesn't put us in a good spot with City because we have to play City, and I want to beat them both. I think we can beat them both, but we just need to stay the course, keep doing it, enjoy the ride, and just keep playing the way we're playing.
Yeah. City are at Southampton. That's the late game Saturday. So it's 12:30 over here. Obviously, it'll be 5:30 across the pond, and then figure out the hours from there wherever you might be. Yeah, I worry about us. That's a good way to put it. I don't worry about them. I worry about us. I think we're getting to a point where, it becomes in sports, you have the good teams want to impose their will on teams that are not as good as they are. Sometimes the better team doesn't get to impose their will on the other team because the other team rises to the occasion. We're getting to a point where I think we can impose our will on just about anyone. And I don't mean in England. I'd say across the whole of Europe. We're getting to that point where we just say, look, we're going to play our game. Where we fall short sometimes is not recognizing those moments where our opponent has risen to the occasion, and we may need to switch up what it is we're trying to do. We want to impose our will by dominating possession, having 750 passes in a game, all of the touches in the 18-yard box and what have you. That's imposing our will. Sometimes we're just not able to do it. It's when it's in those moments where we adjust and figure out something different that will take us from being really, really freaking good to great, to championship caliber. That might happen on Sunday. You have to. I mean, Liverpool are fighting for their European lives. They're going to come out and want to do what they've historically done to us. We have to play our game, survive probably an early storm, if you will, especially emotionally. What they're gonna come out with on Sunday. I would imagine that it being a 4:30 start over there means that's a pretty, that's got to be a pretty good time slot. So I mean, people are going to be fired up. The Anfield crowd, they're going to be fired up. Our crowd, get into it, get behind them, be just as loud as Anfield. Take your 5,000 and stand against an army of 55,000 or whatever it is that Anfield seats. So I'm nervous. I'm cautiously optimistic going into Sunday. I will not give a prediction, but I'm cautiously optimistic going into Sunday. And hopefully they can shut up the Scousers and we can come away with 3 points and at the very least maintain our lead at the top of the league. The only other thing I will add on is if anyone is interested in donating to the GoFundMe for Kenzie's medical bill, she is doing pretty well. In fact, she's laying on the floor next to me right now. we had some scares with her blood sugar. She has a cancerous tumor in her pancreas that kind of makes things real goofy. And we're hemorrhaging money on vet bills. I've set up a GoFundMe. If you're interested in that, you can find it on my Twitter. You can find it on my Instagram. Anything is greatly appreciated on that front. And we're getting pretty close to the goal that I said. We've had some very generous donations come through lately. So, but if you're able to do anything on that front, would be greatly appreciated. She's on a steroid, which seems to be doing the trick for her. She's got an appetite. She's eating, which was kind of the biggest problem that we had. She didn't want to eat anything. She's definitely back to being her usual moochy self. Whenever I have food, she's kind of right there waiting to see if I'm going to drop anything or give her anything. So, but knock on wood, she's doing better. And thank you all for being patient with us as I dealt with that. And that's why we've kind of been gone. And again, my thanks to Ryan and Glenn for being patient with me on that front as well. So that is it. Yeah, we'll be back. We'll figure out time. I'm thinking 6:00 on Sunday, but Ryan and Glenn and I will talk, and we're going to try to bring you another guest on the Sunday Gunner coming up on Sunday. So look for that as well. That should be figured out here in the next 24 hours or so, time wise, but probably 6 p.m. on the East Coast. That'll be 11 o'clock across the pond, as long as everybody can swing that. So stay tuned for that. Everybody in the chat, BX Gunner, Russ Morgan jumping in. Sam, good to see you, my friend. Thanks for being in there. Demsek, thank you again for being a part of the program as much as you have been, man. I love it. Matt DeSouza was in there. Dublin Gooner is in there, always bringing the comic relief for us. I'm scrolling back up here. David from New Zealand was in there. Renit was in there. Renit. I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering your name in both ways. But yeah, we had a good crew in here today watching this one. Yeah, have a for those of you that celebrate, have a great Easter weekend, everyone. Happy Passover if you are Jewish. Yeah, that's it. We will see you guys on Sunday talking about hopefully another 3 points in the bag. As always, come on, you Gunners.